In this problem, we're going to factor out the greatest common factor from 28xy cubed plus 8x squared y to the fourth. And the first thing we do is to find the greatest common factor. To do that, we look first at the 28 and the 8. We can see that 4 will divide into the 8 and also into 28. So 4 in fact is the largest factor that will divide into both. Then we'll look at the x. We can see that x will divide into x, obviously, and also into x squared. Now keep in mind, we cannot let x squared be the greatest common factor. It's too big. We cannot divide x squared into x. But we can divide x into x and x into x squared. So the greatest common factor as far as x is concerned is just x. And then for y, we've got y cubed and y to the fourth. Well, y cubed divides into y cubed and into y to the fourth. Again, when you look at the variables, you take whichever one's the smallest. Y cubed will go into both of these terms, but y fourth will not. So that means that the GCF is 4xy cubed. The next thing we do is actually factor out the 4xy cubed from the original polynomial, 28xy cubed plus 8x squared y to the fourth. And then what we do anytime we factor out the GCF is let's start with the original problem, 28xy cubed plus 8x squared y to the fourth. And anytime we factor out the greatest common factor, remember that it will always be, the answer will always be the GCF times some other factor. And figuring out what that other factor is the biggest challenge. And the way we can find out what the other factor is to take the greatest common factor and divide it into each of the terms. So we'll take the 28xy cubed and divide that by the GCF. And we'll take the second term, 8x squared y to the fourth, and divide that by the GCF, and that will determine what goes into inside the parentheses. Well, when you simplify this fraction, or you do this division, 28 over 4 is 7. The x's cancel, the y cubes cancel, so you're left with just 7. Bring down the plus sign, and then simplify this fraction. 8 divided by 4 is 2. X squared over x is x. Y to the fourth over y cubed is y. And so the result, the final answer then, is 4xy cubed times 7 plus 2xy. And we can check this answer, and it's a very good idea to do that because it's simple enough to do, by just using the distributive property and taking the 4xy cubed and multiplying it through the parentheses. And when we do that, we should get back to the original polynomial, which of course we do. 4xy cubed times 7 is 28xy cubed plus, and then 4xy cubed times 2xy is 8x squared y to the fourth. And that confirms that we have the correct factorization.